Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, you know it doesn't work without you guys. So keep your ass at home. Keep it at home. Keep it at home. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Guys, wake up. Get up. All right, Tuesday morning, we had a great live stream last night, and maybe there is some good news out there. It seems like maybe Italy is finally, after going through holy hell, maybe finally beginning to peak. It's a little early to tell, but that's some good news. You think about Seattle, Washington, which seemed to be the first hot spot. They don't talk about that one as much. It seems like maybe that it's kind of, leveling off out there. I remember with California, my daughter out there, where that was looking to be one of those big spots. It seems like that's leveling off. So you're seeing the effects of people beginning to stay home, how it's not spreading as much. It's still a danger. It is a big danger. And if you're in areas where it's not there, great. Keep it that way by staying at home. It's the best thing we can do. We can all become heroes if we do this. So, last night on our live stream, it was really good. It was actually therapeutical for me because we got a chance to laugh at some different trolls and stuff in here, but just spend some time and kind of get our mind off things. But one of the things that happened, and as the Cowboys get ready for the draft, they got to figure out, because you only have so many picks, what they're going to deem as the most important places to look. Now, they've gone through and signed Gerald McCoy and DeMontre Poe and HaHa Clinton Dix, that they filled some of the holes, at least put a finger in the dike to kind of keep the water from flowing. Now, the question becomes are there other reinforcements that we're going to get before or for the season, or do we need to look at drafting somebody? Now, one of the reinforcements that we could get could be Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory, who has played really well at times when he hasn't been suspended. But he has had, of course, the suspensions for marijuana. And somebody said last night, I don't want that guy on my team. He can't stay on the team. He's a problem, blah, 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 blah. He's a weed head. Well, the interesting thing about Randy Gregory is you have never heard one cross thing about Randy Gregory doing anything other than smoking weed. You have not heard about him, not showing up for practice or late for practice or falling asleep in team meetings. You haven't heard him say anything bad about coaches. You haven't seen him drunk in public. You haven't seen him domestic violence. You have not seen any of these things at all, period. Nothing. Teammates love him. You saw the last time when he tried to file for reinstatement how Tyrone Crawford, Sean Lee, and everything, and other guys on the team stood up for him. Now, what we're told with Randy Gregory, and again, here's the interesting caveat to all this is Jerry Jones is part of the CBA negotiations. And one of the things that are in there is no longer suspending for weed. And this may partially be because of Chris Long. Chris Long, who was the NFL Man of the Year. After he retired, he became a strong advocate for dropping the testing for players. As he put it, it's really a joke as far as the testing goes. He said, I smoked weed my whole career. He said, we just knew come April 21st, they start testing. So you stop about a month ahead. You take, prescription pain meds. You take, alcohol. You take something other than smoking weed. Once you take the test and pass it, go back to firing it up. So I smoked on a regular basis. Helped me deal with pain issues, head trauma, and things like that. I'm sure it made him feel pretty good too. So, Randy Gregory, much like Charles Haley suffered from bipolar. Bipolar, and let's go through here real quick, because I want you to understand. You know, what happens a lot of times with people is you don't know what goes on other than that persona that they have in public. You don't think about George Clooney having to go take a dump. He does. You don't think about, celebrities having marital problems. They do. You don't think about people who are in the public eyes having mental issues. A lot of them do. Because we look at them and say, well, you're a football player, you got everything. But, that's not always the case. Because when you take players in the NFL, it's like a cross-section of society. If you take 1,000 people from any walk of life, you're going to find some that are highly intelligent. You're going to find some ones that ain't too bright. You're going to find some that are alcoholics. You're going to find some that are drug addicts. You're going to find some that might be domestic abusers. Because that is how it is in society in general. Now, bipolar. There's 3 different types of bipolar. Defined by manic episodes that last sometimes as long at least 7 days, or manic symptoms that are severe that the person needs to be immediately hospitalized. Usually depressive episodes occur as well, typically lasting 2 weeks. Episodes of depression with mixed features, having depressive symptoms, maniac symptoms, and sometimes are also very possible. So basically, you're kind of checking out. You have nervousness, you have anxiety, you have issues. I know that I still can't believe that I actually do this. I used to I'd go crazy if I had to speak in public. It literally scared me to death from being a kid. If we had to do a speech at school, I'd literally go crazy. So he does suffer from bipolar. Now, here's an interesting thing. I've actually had to work with somebody very closely who was a paranoid schizophrenic. And getting that person help was years and years in the making. And unfortunately, this person, whenever we would get help for them, they would be able to clear up enough just to get past. Say, you're okay. Because mental health is a real issue in our country. Unless you're deemed a danger to yourself or somebody else, you can know that this person's got issues. They don't care. Make a long story short, eventually some things happened that forced the medical community and the police and the court system to take a longer look at this and end up forcing this person to get medications. The medications worked as far as the mental side of it, but the side effects were huge. And this is some of the side effects that go on with some of the medication that you take. Nausea, tremors, hair loss, sexual problems, weight gain, liver damage, kidney damage, diarrhea, belly pain, skin reactions, just to name a few of them. And a lot of times what happens when we start taking different medications, medication may fix one issue that you have, but it may end up exacerbating other ones. And I probably said that wrong, and my wife would probably be like, oh, don't ever use that word again. But it will make some issues worse. And so the question you ask is taking an over-the-counter medication more harmful than actually smoking the weed? Make no mistake about it. Football is one hell of a sport. We love football. But football is brutal. You can't be an average person and do what these people do on a regular basis. Being in a football game, if you've ever been in a car wreck, imagine being in about 40 in one day and then having to get up the next day and play and go through that again the next week. It takes a tremendous toll on your body, your heart, your mind, your soul, everything. And so when you think about this, and you say, I don't want that guy on my team because, he's not dependable. I got to beg to differ. And it's not like he's the only one that's out there that's using this to be able to manage through. So as of March 19th or so, we had heard that he was filing for reinstatement. The good news on that is once the NFL gets the paperwork, at least during normal times, it's a 60-day process. They have to either say yes or no within 60 days. So hopefully he's got the paperwork in, and we'll know sometime after the draft whether or not he's going to be there. But when you think about the Dallas Cowboys as far as needs, if you can get him, he will be dirt cheap because they put a contract extension on him. He's dirt cheap. He's a guy who doesn't have much wear and tear on his body. During a 6-game stretch, he did have 4 sacks. And you put him out there, he could be a difference maker for this team. So that's all I have to say about that. But in closing, 211. 211. If you need help going through this, and we're going to be shut down for at least another month. If you're going to have problems paying your rent, you need help because you need groceries or food, you need child care and things like that, 211 is like 911 for non-emergencies. They will help you get pointed into the right direction for anything you need. Anything you need, call them. They're all in the local communities, and United Way has been part of them for a long time. And this is the time to use all the resources that you can get so we can get there together. And keep your ass at home. Keep it at home. I'm telling you, keep it at home. You don't need to go out. Or if you do, be safe. Keep your distance. Get what you need one time and come back home. I'll see you soon.